What's up guys, what's going on? Dank Rage here, and today we're going to be looking at Cyclops. After the biggest game update ever, Cyclops got a nice little facelift, and I've been enjoying the shit out of him. So, I've been asked a whole bunch of times, hey Dank, where's your guides? What's up? What's going on? What's happening with the Clops? So I figured it's about time to just do a quick little video guide. So, right now, this is my gear. We'll go through that real quick. Go through the team up and powers, infinities, all that kind of shit. So here we go. Starting off, Blessed Legion Iron Sheath, or Iron Legion Armor Sheath, Cyclops' right t-shirt, rocking a War Scroll Medallion, Cosmic Enhanced Hand of Doom. Just got this last night. I still want to re-roll the Cosmic Affix, but you know that's further on down the line. Mental Focus Headband as well. For Relics, Atlantis is still the best. Power Dupe, again, still the best, especially now that Cyclops has all 3 damage types. So we'll get into that a little bit more later. Cosmic Control Rod for the huge boost to energy. Industry City Signet for the ring right now. If I had a sling ring from the Doctor Strange event, I would be using that. But unfortunately, I didn't play at the time, so this is what I'm using for now until that event comes back around. But I would definitely suggest grabbing yourself a sling ring if you do not have... or grabbing yourself an Industry City Signet if you do not have a sling ring. Moving on to the gear for slot 1, Fragment of Twilight, Clan Rebellion Bodysuit, which is Psych slot 2, Blue Team Utility Belt, which is slot 3. Now, Coat of Skull could, or Coat of the Red Skull could be good as well. I prefer using this one because of how many how many call-ins you can actually use at one time. So I believe that all of these crit damage effects actually stack based on how many call-ins or strike teams you have out at the moment. So I'm rocking that for right now. Scroll Military Uniform for a slot 4, and Essence of Jinn, the best slot 5 you can get for a slot 5. For Catalyst, you definitely want to look out for Regen and Spirit for your medkit, +3 Intelligence or +3 Energy. I'm using Intelligence because it has that other minor bonus to crit damage, which is amazing. Of course, Health on hit is fantastic for Cyclops too, so he can just sit right there in the middle of the packs and just destroy stuff with Ricochet Beam or all of his AoEs. So that's really good too. And the plus Spirit doesn't hurt either. Now, you could also get health on there as well, but this is working for me. And of course, the Cosmic implicit stat being that the damage shield gives you 50% max health as a shield whenever you use a medkit is amazing. The mutation bonus is good as well. Nice little regen in case you get a little bit too low. And then, of course, the armor 100 or 1000 defense bonus at the very bottom there is primo. Now, that's not necessary, but if you're looking to min-max, you definitely want to try and get all those stats. I do believe that the mutation bonus could be different depending on whether you want to go more damage after you use a signature or something along those lines. But this is working for me right now. But yeah, so... for my insignia, I'm still using Storm with the crit and crit damage secondary stats. And of course, the Cosmic upgraded implicit stat when you use a signature power gain +5 attributes for 6 seconds with a 1-minute cooldown. It kind of works in favor with Cyclops' signature because it's on such a long cooldown. It works really well. So definitely think about grabbing one of those. And then for your pet, now I still haven't gotten what I really want on my stats for my pet, so I'm still constantly re-rolling them. But for now, the 8% base health is probably really good, if not the best. For blue, you want to go for plus spirit. For epics, you want to run 10% brutal damage if you can. And then for the yellows, I mean, it just really depends on what you're trying to go for with your character. The signature power gain 50% power radius and 4% base damage is not bad, but I do believe that there are better ones. So this will work for now, but you know, definitely check back at a later date and see if there's any kind of updates or anything towards the build. And we'll go from there. But that's all of his gear and stuff. Moving on to the team up, we're going to rock Jubilee just because of her passive, +1 energy, +300 energy damage rating. Obviously, Cyclops is about almost, I want to say, 85-90% pure energy, so this works really, really well. This is just a personal preference of mine. I do believe that Agent Coulson actually has the highest DPS for team-ups right now, followed by, I think, who is it? Carnage, Quicksilver, and Wolverine. Not necessarily in that order, but definitely those top 4 team-ups are what you want to look at if you want to min-max the DPS. Moving on to talents and traits, I'm running X-Men Standby for the first row, Focused Beam, Improved Optics for the second, Strike Team Magneto for the 3rd, Vigilant Leader for the 4th, and Emma Frost for the 5th. So, granted that I'm using all of these, that gives me all 3 damage types, which also goes in conjunction with the power dupe. So every time I use a mental, energy, or physical power, I gain bonus stats. So the great thing is about Emma is that not only does she proc physical, or sorry, not only does she proc mental, but she also procs physical too. So you could drop Beast if you really want to. I personally wouldn't, because of his bleed is such a good damage adder, and the only downside about Beast is you kind of have to aim it right. So just try and work on that a little bit and see how you can, perfect your aim. But that's really the biggest thing with Beast. It's you got to be on point with the aim, or else you're just going to completely whiff it. Moving on to infinities. For Mind Gem, we'll run Spirit cost reduction and plus Spirit. You could also go more into Intelligence, which is what I'm doing as well. So these 3 are definitely the best ones that you want to go for. Definitely want to go for Intelligence after you get a lot of Spirit cost reduction and plus Spirit, because Cyclops does tend to run through a little bit. For power, signature powers, base damage, amazing. Visor off is an amazing signature. For reality, energy, crit damage, and crit, you could use. I'm pretty solid on both crit and crit damage, so I'm just running as much base damage as I can. That's, again, just a personal preference. Soul, we're running Brute Strike and Brute Damage. After the nerf to Brute Strike, you're kind of hard-pressed to find Brute anywhere, so this is a great way to add some to your character. It's a flat 5% chance at max ranks, so yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. For space, we're going to run area damage. A lot of Psych's abilities are area, so this goes in conjunction with his skills amazingly. But yeah. Sorry, just got a whisper from somebody that's kind of important. But anyway, moving on from space, we got time, which is attack speed and move speed. I can't think of anything else that you would really want outside of maybe a dash or teleport power cooldown, but you definitely want to go for move speed and attack speed first. Get those taken care of. Moving on to hero synergies. Now, there are a lot of changes to some heroes, so I haven't fully gone into a whole bunch of the other ones. I do know there's a couple intelligence ones and energy ones that I want to pick up, but for now, this is what I'm working with. Cable, Cat Marvel, Iron Man, Jean, Scarlet Witch for the dots, Squirrel Girl for the boss damage, Star-Lord for the energy crits, Thor for the physical damage and energy, War Machine for, actually I should probably take that off and switch over to Ultron for the plus intelligence, and then Wolverine down here for the brutal damage and Brute Strike rating multiplier. So there's that. And then just real quick, guys, before I get out of here, I'm going to show you the rotation, or at least the one that I tend to use. Now, real quick before I start this off, you definitely can use Explosive Blast in conjunction with Cutting Beam if you really want to, seeing as though Master Tactician does have a huge cooldown. But outside of that, that's really the only kind of switch up that I would make. Whether you want to go for the Explosive Blast vulnerability, which has a really short, I don't want to say really short duration, but it's easy to keep up because it has no cooldown. But outside of that, I still use Master Tactician for the huge burst. Anyway, moving on. Focus Beam, Combat Roll, Master Tactician, Optic Devastation, Visor Off, Overwatch, Beast, Emma. Now, because I have X-Man Standby, I do have a good chance of calling automatically in Magneto. It's phenomenal. He has a nice little extra damage layer. So maybe we'll see him in the rotation, maybe not. It's a 10% chance. So here we go. You definitely want to start off with Overwatch, then hit your Master Tactician, then run through your rotation. So I'm going to do it really fast for you, and that'll be the rotation real quick. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, Overwatch, Master Tactician, Emma, Beast, Optic, and then Visor Off. After you get done with your SIG, just spam Focus Beam. That's all you got to do. Let it charge up, and you just start doing shit tons of damage, man. I'm telling you what. And then once everything comes off cooldown, just spam it back. That's all you got to do. Keep rotating your cooldowns. That's it. Super simple, but very intuitive, much more so than just the standard beam weaving like Cyclops used to. So I hope you guys enjoy the new Clops. I cannot wait to see what new things are going to come out for him. Hopefully they buff him up just a little bit, because he could always use an extra little damage buff, you know what I'm saying? But thank you guys so much for watching, man. I really do appreciate it. We'll check you again next time. Peace.